I've got Sherlock Clones again,
What's up?
and I've got a new guest, which is he's known as well. He keeps changing his clan, just like I don't know what clan he keeps changing it to. So it was LATD Archaon. Now it's TruArchaon.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
So, do you guys want to be known as Archaon or Sherlock Clones, or do you want real names, or what? Are you bothered either way, or what?
You can call me whatever you want, baby.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
I'm happy with that. I think you know me well enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
What happened with the death deck?
It was terrible.
No.
You never guess what? It was shit.
Oh my god.
We got the 14 combo off in the first game, and then it was after that went downhill.
Hey man, at least you did it once.
Yeah.
Everybody gets one. Everybody gets one.
So what are we doing here? We're playing Chaos versus Chaos, huh?
Well, yeah. We were just while you're here actually, we were discussing about the meta. And Adam thinks the whole game is just going to be a massive, massive chaos fest.
So, I'll give you my 2 cents.
Go for it.
So, with the destruction change with Power of the Law, I think the meta is honestly probably going to be Chaos and things that beat Chaos. So people will come up with decks specifically targeting Chaos. And when you go to a tournament now, you're either going to play Chaos or you're going to play something that beats Chaos. And then someone's going to come up with a deck that beats what beats Chaos. And then it's just going to be a weird meta. That's probably
That's what I was kind of alluding to. I basically said it's going to be Chaos or Archon.
Oh,
it might be Archon. Archon is Archon's pretty good. I don't know if it can beat like Bloodthirster. I think Bloodthirster might do too much damage.
Well, I've lost twice against it after I won my first 5 to 7 games in ranked. I've only played 10.
Oh really?
Yeah. I was on 5 or 7 win streak, and then I posted in Discord, "How is this fun for the opponent?" And then Mogwai smashed me with it, and then I think Kane beat me with it offline.
I mean, I think Death is pretty good. I just don't know if it can win in a field if it's a bunch of Chaos. I think...
Well, I don't know. I've been smashed quite a lot lately.
I didn't say it was impossible. I feel like wouldn't it be weird if Death was the anti-Chaos?
Spooky, right?
I mean, I guess it has Lord Executioner, so it kind of already fits that bill.
Yeah.
It is refreshing to see something other than Mordant be competitive. But Mordants have just disappeared now. They're too slow.
Yeah. I think it's going to be... I think it's going to be... I think Chaos is going to be the one that everyone will play, purely because of how easy it is. It's a very simple game plan, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
The problem I've got with Chaos is on the article that I did with Sherlock last season, I gave this Scarbrand to my mate who had never picked up the game before, and I played Firebelly against him and he beat me 3-1, and it was like, you've never picked up the game, you don't know what to do, I've helped you a little bit, but you've beat me 3 times, and it's like, that shouldn't be...
No, not at all.
The case, you know what I mean?
That's my problem with Chaos. Chaos is too easy. It's like, not only is it too easy, it's the best deck. So combining those two factors makes a very unhealthy game. Like, who wants to play a game where, like you said, somebody can just pick up the deck and beat you, and you've been playing the game for you know, however long it's been out. Doesn't
Well,
make any. It doesn't make any
it.
sense.
I played it the third most in the world.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. If you've been, right, if you played it since season 1,
Which
and, like,
I have.
Right, and I think me and Hamish.
Hamish.
Hamish actually. Sorry. I corrected myself.
You better be.
I think me and Hamish. We talked about this the other time we were on stream, or maybe I don't know if it was on stream or we were just talking about it through chat. But like,
Yeah.
when you play mirror matches with Chaos, and like you said, like somebody could be brand new to the game, and you're playing Scarbrand, and you've been playing Scarbrand since season 1 or 2. Yet somehow, some way, you could honestly lose to the person that you're playing against because it's Chaos, which should never be the case. If you're a better player, you should be able to beat the mirror match. Chaos is one of those decks where you could honestly lose to somebody who just picked up the game because maybe they flipped UBL first. Or maybe they just drew more Demonic Furies and Furious Strikes than you. Like, it just, to me, that shouldn't be... That shouldn't work. That shouldn't happen.
And that's our problem with ranked, isn't it? What we've been complaining about for seasons upon seasons. Like,
right.
Last season, anyone could pick up Scarbrand. It's a tier 1 deck. It does an insane amount of damage, and you lose so much EXP to players stuck in silver and gold just using that deck.
Right. It's hurtful to the game when people who probably should be silver or gold tier players are playing top tier decks and are winning and gaining rank just because of the deck itself, not because of their skill. No offense to people playing Scarbrand. But it's just, I think people who should be in those tiers shouldn't be gaining rank just because a deck is so good and easy that it helps them win, you know?
Yep.
Brutal.
So I missed it since I was away, but what did you guys think of the errata to
Perfect.
Power of the Wa?
Exactly what was needed.
I didn't like the way it interacted. I would have been happy with Spelly's version of the interaction, so the last stand kicks in and then does 4 on the last stand. I can take, is it 9 to 10 damage in one turn, but the fact it did 18 plus was ridiculous.
Now, are you happy with the fact that they errated that, but they didn't touch anything else?
As soon as they errated that, I said they need to touch Chaos next. They need to do something to stop Chaos.
Oh my days. That's insane.
I guess
I've just basically done 20 to 25 damage with him in 3 turns when he was on quite a lot of health.
But you did flip a load of blessings.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I just waited till the end.
Yeah.
But do you think it's a little bit, I guess, disheartening that they fixed Power of the Wog right away, and yet Chaos is still the main issue?
They
haven't done anything.
The reason they fixed Power of the War is because the card was doing something that was not intentionally meant. It was not meant to play that way. Does that make sense? The card was never built for that sort of intention. Whereas I suppose all the Chaos cards are doing their job. Apart from they had to obviously fix the Nurgle's Rock thing on the app. But every Chaos deck is doing what the designed intentions were. I think that's the reason why. You know, and also as well, realistically, you saying you did 25 damage in 3 turns, or do 18 damage in 2 actions. I think that's like the point, really, isn't it? You know, if you in 3 turns you managed to accumulate 25 damage because you were coming to that point where you systematically put champions down when it completed blessings, and blessings do damage. You know, that's
I get that. But,
that's fine, but not 18 damage because I played 3 cards. That's insane.
The fact Scarbrand was already tier 1, and then they've added Gaze and Nurgle.
The Gaze and Nurgle was
Nurgle's Rock.
Yeah,
They've added what's the one where you can play the ability? Putrid Offering. So that's 2 damage, 2 health to remove another unit. So like I said
no
before,
one plays that.
I think they thought Chaos were going to die because of the Wild Form and Lord Executioner. And I think they were scared that Chaos wouldn't be viable anymore.
Well, to be
So
fair, I actually don't see a lot of wild form.
But that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like that I think the designers thought that so many people had run these to stop Chaos, and it's not turned out that way. So they added an ability to increase units damage instead of an ability damage, and that's just tipped them over the edge.
I don't. Well, why? I don't think they did. I don't think they done that at all. I don't think they played it that way. If that makes sense. I don't think they.
Because I think they've made mistakes ever since they've started.
I think they just need to they need to balance numbers out. I think there's just some number balancing thing that needs to go on, but it's just the aggression really. There's like Chaos should be aggressive. I've got no issues with Chaos being aggressive, but
maybe
I think it's just the numbers really, isn't it? The numbers are too high.
Not only that, but maybe the blessings shouldn't be as good as they are. Like if your units are questing fast and your basic abilities and unit damage are already high, maybe they should have done something different with the blessings. Because the fact that everything already does damage, and then they also gave them damage blessings to go with it. So like you said, in one turn, if you calculate it good enough, you can do 14 damage in one turn with 2 abilities and a blessing flip, or set it up where you're doing like a whole bunch of damage with all your units in one turn, on top of all your abilities, and then flip a blessing, and your blessing's doing more damage. I just feel like you're right. It's just too much damage coming at you in one turn, or just too much damage coming at you from Chaos.
Yeah,
they could have balanced it out more, where maybe the blessings were more control-based blessings, or some other type of blessing rather than more damage on top of what they already have.
The thing is as well that you have also got you've also got pieces of Nurgle in set 2. I think there's going to be some pieces of the other pieces are going to come out in the later sets for them, but it's kind of hard really because but we say the thing is we sit there and say that Chaos is bust, and then we all run around and actually make decks that can beat it.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think it's unbeatable. I just think that Chaos has the most consistent output of success out of even like decks that are designed to beat it. I still think Chaos would more consistently and more easily be able to win a matchup than something that's specifically designed to counter Chaos. Like, because like, for example, the deck that we've been playing, yeah, the deck is good, but if Chaos just pulls a good hand, I'm not beating Chaos.
I think the question...
I need to draw the tools to not die to Chaos, while Chaos is just doing its Chaos thing, kind of thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I guess it's that matter of, if we both pulled a God Hand, who would still win? Like, do you know what I mean? I think if we both pulled the God Hand that we all want, then and the other person still goes, and then Chaos still goes, oh, I still win, and then it's a matter of, well, I'm now just hoping you don't have a really, really, really good hand, like you said. But I don't think we've really tried what happens if 2 people have a God Hand, sort of, if that makes sense.
That's kind of the problem with Chaos, though. You say God Hand, but all the damage is consistent.
Yeah.
So anything in your hand is going to hit them hard. Unless you've got carry... Like last season, I didn't carry Blood Hunts. I carried just 3 beatbacks, and that was my only non-damage stuff.
Well, this is why I think, unfortunately, the only thing that could solve this issue is rotating set 1 out.
Oh, we were saying that, weren't we? We were talking about that.
Because once you rotate set 1 out, it gets rid of all their high damage abilities. It gets rid of all the good blessings for the most part. I think that would probably solve most problems. And then Scarbrand really wouldn't be an issue anymore because what abilities you have with Scarbrand other than maybe the new ones? But Nurgle's Rot doesn't work with Scarbrand. And what was the other one? The Putrid.
Putrid Offering, is it?
Yeah, Putrid Offering. Okay, so that might do 5 instead of 2. It's still not doing 8. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And she's doing to me now.
So, I think unfortunately that's probably the only route that will solve this issue because I think it's just too late. They can't unless they just start nerfing and banning everything. You know, it's kind of too late. The cards are already there.
Yeah. So what are people saying? I mean, that's so you literally did 3, 4, 8. So 4, 8. You did 11 damage in one action. Okay, so maybe.
Yeah, so Hamish probably won this game because he removed my Skyfires, like Kane's saying.
Yeah, I mean that's another aspect of the game I don't like is
that if you
don't draw removal, you lose a game, which I feel like that's a little ridiculous.
It means, hey, I'm playing Rotigus here. I know it's still chaos, but I'm basically just what I'm doing is just tapping into the things that make chaos so great, which is just like you said. It's just I chucked in all of the blessings that deal damage. I've got all the good units that deal damage. I've got all the abilities that do real good damage, and I've got a guy just helping me tick over quests a bit. Oh shit!
I had to put that then.
You might have won this. Maybe not.
If you got a unit and ability, you probably have.
I sure have.
Yeah, well, you're gonna do 2 damage off a blessing, aren't you?
I can't remember what my blessings are.
Unless you flip UBL.
Oh, Total Carnage, even better.
There you go.
Oh yeah, just a casual 7.
But it's weird, isn't it? Because it's stuff like it's times when Total Carnage feels there's some blessings that just feel fine, but the thing is as well the other factions can tap into some blessings that are more damage in a sense. You know, if you actually look at it, Destruction has some outrageous damage blessings. You know, they've got Might of Gorks is decent. You've got Torbad's Ride, which is decent, and then you can even whip in the Gur one that does 2, 3, 3. So you literally got a load of blessings that can just pump out damage. But what Chaos has got is just this initial burst damage, and it's just.
I think. I was gonna say I think Chaos just synergizes really well.
They do.
I think all their cards kind of work toward a single goal.
Damage.
Right. And I think that's the problem.
But then and it's weird really because how would you design a Khorne based faction and without that sort of mentality with it? Do you know what I mean? Because it's almost just like the idea of outright aggression is fine, but it's just not. The damage is not. It's just the numbers of the damage is just a bit too high. That's all. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think as well, one of the big, I think, Jacob, like Jacob said, he's very much agreeing that that Chaos should have the marks of Chaos on them. Like, massively have the marks of Chaos on them, because if it was just Khorne and Nurgle and Slanesh and somehow Zeech would probably be a terrible faction because all of their units can't be played on Wizards, but then all of a sudden you'd have cards that would go like that. Nurgle's Rot, for example, would say you can push a Nurgle unit one step forward. And
right.
now you're like, oh, okay, well, I can only play the Nurgle stuff on it, and then the Khorne stuff will be like, oh well, like, you can only do, you know what I mean? If you can only put this with that, or and you can, do you see what I'm getting at? Like, you can't just spam out all of this like mix, which is what it is. But how does that solve anything by trying to, you know, hindsight is a beautiful thing, right?
Right. So the problem though now is that it's already like that. So there's only 2 tags on Chaos now. It's either demon or not demon. So we're already past that point of, hey, we should have done this.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's, how do you fix it? The only thing they could do to fix it is either start adding in different sub factions to Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
But that also seems like that's a terrible idea, because it's already 3 sets in, and there's still only demon and non-demon.
Well, there is going to be Beastmen, and there are going to be Skaven. But how do you solve it now? Like right now, how do you solve it? I think it's the weird thing is that if they hold it tight, you know, their nerve tight a little bit, they can hopefully have the cards. Well, the cards and the player's approach will be able to solve that. But if it honestly can't, then I don't. To be honest with you, there's multiple ways you could do it, but it's not that straightforward, is it? Like,
no, and you know what? And it kind of gives an unfair advantage to Chaos, because as you can see, a lot of their quick questing champs, they're just generic. Like Blood Chieftain.
Well, he's actually one of the main culprits. I honestly think he's one of the biggest culprits.
Right. And he's a generic guy, which means you could just splash him in. Like you were saying, you're running Rodriguez, but hey, you might as well run a Blood Reaver Chieftain because he's just an easy quester. He's low cost.
That's literally it. Yeah, it's literally it.
So that's another major issue I see with Chaos, is that all their champions are just generic champions.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are low cost, quick questing, and it just, no other faction really has that. So
no, they don't have it to that degree. No, maybe
not to that degree. No.
I wonder if Blood Reaver Chieftain was not in the picture, what it would look like.
Well, it would definitely be slower.
Exactly. Maybe maybe that's like, a lot of people point at Scarbrand, but Scarbrand is quite easy to deal with if he's the only problem. And I've said this before, he's quite easy to relatively deal with if he is your biggest problem. Because a single champion can't do the whole work for you. What makes Chaos kind of crazy is when Scarbrand goes, well, here's 2 Blood Reaver Chieftains, you can't deal with all of us. And I'll just and do you know what I mean? And that's when you're like, it's just, if I deal one side, I've got to leave another, and then if I leave the other, it's just like, I can't approach all of them at once. And Blood Reaver Chieftain is just a guy that just gets the job done for you so easily. You don't really have to work on him at all. Like, just like I just did. I just put a guy down and left it. I'm halfway there. So if he was never in the picture, I do wonder what would you put in?
They just came out with a new champion. What was it?
Oh,
Future Blight Lord.
Yeah. El Lucius is the same. There's Future Blight now, which is even better in terms of corners. Too bad he's 4 cost.
Yeah, but I mean, even if he's 4 cost, I mean, it's still an easy questing, low cost champion.
Yeah, well,
that's generic.
I suppose, but
Hamish, don't get Jeff started on Stormcast Order and generic champions.
Yeah, don't do that to me. We'll be here all night. I'll keep you guys up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, like, so I'm looking at all the Chaos champions right now. They've come out with quite a few.
Oh wow.
No, that's a good
GG.
Do you remember when we were all moaning about how good this was, and now we were moaning about how not that great it was, and now we're back to probably saying this card's bust?
Kane said, "Correction, don't do that to us."
What's that? I mean, what does that mean? Well, what did I say?
About Jeff.
In regards to my Stormcast rant.
Oh, no, I'm not going down that road again.
But I'm looking at like champions that they came out with this set. They came out with Vile Poxbringer, which isn't terrible at questing. It's a 2-cost. It's a damage corner demon ability damage, so it's not the worst.
Well, okay, but you could arguably say there's quite a few. If you actually take a step back and actually look at there's a lot of other champions in that same boat as well that is not chaos.
Right. I'm not. I'm just saying like, you asked what other champions did they got if we got rid of Blood Raider Chieftain. I'm just trying to see like what other quick questing champions would, still be broken for chaos. So I just, like I said, it seems like it's a bit too late because they've already split it in just 2 different subtypes, which is demon, non-demon. I don't know what you could do to fix it. Not 3 sets in, unless they, like I said, unless they got rid of set 1 and they started printing different types of cards in the new set, but
it's I don't know, because the thing is, they're quite maybe they're just because they're quite multi-purpose, aren't they? They've got kind of a nice answer for everyone. It's really weird how much of the tone that's changed from this game, if that makes sense, from when we first started doing this, and it was Gordrak is bad. Gordrak is nuts. Gordrak is insane. All this, and now it's like, I know no one will talk about Gordrak now. Gordrak is not a thing anymore, but it is still a thing. But it's like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems like every set there's just an issue with something.
But I'll be honest with you. I feel like that happens with every game ever I've played.
That's true.
Like, I can't name a single game where I'm like, oh, well, that was fair. There's always some crazy thing.
No, this game doesn't feel fair.
Trust me, like Adam, when you sit there and you've said this is one of your first card games, there is this is like my 5th, and I think there's always something in a game that I play that's just like, yeah, that's just bullshit and broke. Like, do you know what I mean? There's just something that's just like, that's just crazy.
Oh, yeah. I know there's going to be mistakes, and I'm like kind of amateurish when it comes to like TCGs, but I've played this one enough to know what the problems are right now.
Oh yeah. It's easy. The thing is, spotting the problems are pretty straightforward. I think. Oh, there you go. Vargas for the win.
As soon as you got UBL. The main thing I like about this game is the interactions with physical players. So, like, I've had a lot of like issues with depression and stuff last year, and the amount of people I've met through this game is just like, honestly, like it's been really good for me. Like, it's got me through depression and everything. So, like, meeting you at tournaments, I've met all the Northampton friends. I've done articles with Sherlock. I talked to Kane. Like, it's just one big community. That's what I like about this game.
I agree. I like meeting people. I like, especially people you would never really talk to. Like, you guys are in England. I would never know people in England unless it was from this game,
Yeah. I feel, for me, I've never done half of the amount of stuff that I've. Well, no, actually, I've run events and I've got people to play games at my club, but and I've done podcasts, but it's took me to the level of streaming and just chat and chat. The whole thing has just been really, as much as we sit there and say the game needs some improvements in terms of balance, it's still a very, very fun game. In its core, the core aspect is really fun, and the people we've met along the way are really fun, and the company is decent. Do you know what I mean? I think I've said to quite a few people, I think this is a journey rather than a destination. Does that make sense? Because I think Yeah.
And you know what? I will say this is probably one of the better communities that I've been with in all the different kind of games I've played. It's definitely less toxic than most card games I've played, and even like computer games that I've played. Most communities are very toxic and very angry, and they're never happy with anything. I would say the Discord community, especially, is very welcoming. They're helpful. It's less stressful, you know.
Oh, Adam, you got some serious love from the from the chat here.
I know, I've just seen.
You got some serious love. See, if it wasn't for this game, we would never have met Adam. Aww.
That's right. Adam's just so cool.
You're the man. And Great Big Slug says, remind me to be more toxic. Be more toxic.
Please don't.
That's the difference between Discord and Facebook as well. I found people a lot more toxic on Facebook.
Yeah, I personally don't go on Facebook because I've seen toxicity on Facebook. And
I think
the
Facebook's seriously calmed down now.
It's calmed down now, yeah. I think
back in the day. Oh, back in the day. Oh, they were wild. But now I think it's toned down quite a lot now. I don't ever use the Discord, so I'm not really the best advocate to know what the Discord channel's like at all.
Yeah, why don't you use the Discord?
I just find it's like going on Facebook Messenger, but there's 100 people in it.
I guess that's true.
And it's just like, what's the point? What's the point? Where do I start?
Oh, so you know what? I have a question.
Go for it.
So PlayFusion has come out with a whole bunch of stuff recently. Like they announced a whole bunch of stuff, like the Switch. They just did that, which is always good to go on more platforms.
Yeah.
They announced the 100K tournaments and the 5Ks and the 1Ks. Did I say 100K? I meant 20K.
Yeah.
What would you guys like to see in the future? Is there any type of thing that you guys would like PlayFusion to do? Would you got what in the future do you think would be another exciting aspect of this game?
I think that's a really good point.
Right? It makes you think.
Oh yeah, no, because it feels like they're oh, I've got one. Actually, I've got one. I feel so because everything they did was a stepping stone, wasn't it? Like when they started, it started with the app and the physical play. Then it came out on Steam, like you said. Now it's come out on the Switch, and now we've got our events. Yeah, so what do we do now? I think the next big thing they really need to do is to really improve on their AI in the app.
Okay.
I honestly think that's the next thing that they really need to do, because when they first started, the things in the app were meant to do a lot more than what they currently do now. It was a big thing. It was like a big sale. That was one of their biggest pitches. Like, you can put the cards come alive. That was their thing. And well, it doesn't, does it? It feels like I think its base form is there, but I honestly think the app could just look a lot better. Does that make sense? I feel like it's functioning rather than looking good. Like, and I'm not trying to compare it into the same sense that it should, like in terms of what Hearthstone's doing, but if you look at all the other card game stuff that's on the app, they just look really, really, really polished and really good. And I think that should be their next big project.
Well, I think that most complaints when people play this game is how it looks visually.
Mm-hmm.
And I get, like I said, when I hop on streams and I see like new people streaming and I look at the chat, most of the people in the chat are complaining about how it looks.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with you that they need to make it a little bit more visually appealing to people.
Yes.
So yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
What about you, Adam? You have any thing that you hope for PlayFusion to announce in the future, or?
I hope they listen to the people who don't have a play scene. So,
Okay.
like, you've got rank 1 at the minute, like Lucas, who has nothing in Italy, and I know they said they're going to push Europe after the first City Championships in England and the US.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to see them listen to where the where there could be a player base and go to all the stores and stuff. Maybe push Europe, maybe push places around the UK that doesn't have it. I mean, like, I'm in Manchester, which is one of the probably first or second biggest city after London.
And it's Birmingham's the second biggest.
What's that?
Birmingham's the second biggest in the UK.
Birmingham and Manchester. But yeah, there's hardly anyone turning up to Manchester, and I feel everyone's down south. So like Northampton, you got like 28 players or something like that.
What's that?
Nottingham got 20 odd players.
No, we had 22.
Manchester's getting a couple, so 22.
Northampton worked. Northampton is in one of the central parts of the UK. So the reason it turned out quite well is because a lot of London players and people from around can attend that. I think that's one of a big factor of why that worked out.
Yeah, hopefully these money tournaments push it a lot more. But the other thing I've heard of people is that people get silly when money's involved with TCGs, so
they do.
I don't know.
They do.
I haven't witnessed stuff like that, so.
Oh, they do. People get a bit funny with they go a bit crazy with the money tournaments. I think the thing is though, they are putting up stuff. They are trying to gun it for getting people to come down.
Yeah, definitely.
They are gunning it.
I just want to see it take off.
Well, it's kind of weird, really. It's a lot of it's out of their hands.
Yep.
But then I think if they started making the app look a bit more visually appealing, it's going to grow. I know that there's this big thing of, does the app contradict with the physical play? I think there's arguments that I completely agree that it does, but I think there's also arguments to say that it can actually enhance it. Because when you've got something that's like, oh, this looks really cool, and then someone goes, oh, did you know you can actually play this in real life and go to these tournaments and actually win some money? I think that's actually like, oh, okay, that's actually decent. Because for ages we've always been saying they need some solid OP, and now we've got some. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I definitely think the addition of money prizes was a huge add-on to this game. I think that definitely incentivizes people to go out, buy physical stuff, compete in these tournaments to win money. I think that was a huge addition to this game.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh my god.
Here we go. Boom, baby. That's a lot of damage.
Wow.
I knew it was going to. Well, I was hoping it wasn't Total Carnage. That's all I was hoping. If it wasn't Total Carnage, I was like, here we go. Here we go.
This felt like a good deck until I faced Buddy Rotigus.
I think actually a lot of people say that. I think Rotigus can actually deal with a lot of different people apart from Chaos. Apart from itself. It's interesting because I'm just mucked about with this, and it's just actually, I'm probably not taking it as serious. I didn't take it seriously when I first made it, and now I'm just a little bit like, maybe it's got something. But then
80% of it's still the basic Chaos deck, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe this is the secret deck. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. You're
I don't know
right.
what you're all in at. You've got bloody UDL.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's true. Oh, I don't really know if I've got really much more answers. I'm just hoping my draw is something. I mean, that's a lot of healing.
Yeah, but you're gonna do 12 damage.
I don't know.
That's one off the core grab.
Guess it really depends on what you draw here.
This is a really big thing of... Oh, I've won.
Oh well.
Oh, I was like, oh, this...
That was a good draw.
Yeah, it was Furious Strike. Oh
Guess the
dear.
game really wanted you to win, huh?
The game really did really want me to win that one, yeah. That's actually quite lucky because Rodicus did... Actually, Rodicus saved the day there.
We did. He did that one damage.
Yeah, that's all I needed. That's what... Rodicus actually did it. It saved Rodicus' bust, right? Let's ban him. Ban him. It's too good. Alright, guys. I believe we should end it there.
No.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Cheers. Cheers, everybody, for joining in. Thank you so much, Sherlock and Adam, for joining on to today's Wisdom Wednesday.
No problem.
Yeah?
No
Thanks for having us.
No,
Yeah,
that's
thanks
all
for
right.
having us.
That's right. Yeah, we'll. I've got. So you can catch. Obviously, we catch me on stream. You can catch Sherlock on stream. You can also catch Adam on stream. Also have a podcast called the Satcast as well, where I'm doing a pretty lazy job of updating that. But at some point soon, I will be getting a new episode up on there as well. You never know. I might grab some of these guys or someone else from the club to talk about some other games as well. But yeah. Cheers, guys, for jumping on, and I'll catch you all another time.
Goodbye.
See you guys.
Bye.